Operation Christmas Child, also known as the Shoebox Campaign, which is a project of the international relief organization Samaritan's Purse. It's become the world's largest children's Christmas project. Joining me from Lethbridge to talk about this is Jacky Kete. She's the media support team member with Samaritan's Purse. Jacky, welcome to Bridge City News.
Thank you.
Now, Jacky, for any viewers that may be unfamiliar with it, what is Operation Christmas Child all about?
The mission of Operation Christmas Child is to demonstrate God's love in a tangible way to children in need around the world. So through this project, Samaritan's Purse partners with the local church worldwide, and it shares the good news of Jesus Christ and makes disciples of people around the world.
Excellent. And how many kids in how many different countries have you reached?
Since 1993, more than 198 million children in more than 170 countries and territories have received an Operation Christmas Child shoebox.
Wow. And what are some of the different countries that will receive gifts coming from Canada?
From Canada this year, in the last number of years, El Salvador, Costa Rica, Nicaragua, Senegal, Guinea, Gambia, Guinea-Bissau, and Sierra Leone have been in our list for quite a few years. Ukraine had been dropped off, and now Ukraine is back on. And for the first time ever, we're sending shoeboxes to the Philippines.
Wow, that's amazing. And I'm sure it would just be amazing to see the faces light up on these kids' faces. How did the kids and the families react to the gifts? Can you share a story on what kind of impact this makes?
It's just so amazing to see what these kids are getting. For many of them, they have never received a gift of any kind in their lives. And now they're getting a whole box full of gifts. And many times in many different places, children have opened them trying to think, well, do I get to choose which one and what can I keep? And they're just amazed as to what happens when you can have all of it. And they're so astonished. It makes a difference for children who are going to school. Some children cannot go to school because they don't have the school supplies. Their parents can't afford it. Now they can go to school. And there's so many different stories that we could tell about how a child is the only girl in a family of boys and she wanted just something pink. And she got a shoebox full of pink things. And children in Guyana, they love to play soccer in that country. And in one particular shipment, there were 5 boxes that had soccer balls in them. So, I really believe that this is a ministry that is governed by God, and children receive exactly what they need.
That's amazing to hear. Now, does the shoebox also have an impact on the surrounding community? And does it open doors to bring about some positive change?
Huge. It's the gateway ministry. Lots of times by us being able to come in and deliver gifts to children, it allows for a school to be opened, or it allows for a water well to be dug, or those kinds of impacts. And just physical impacts like that are absolutely huge.
Now, COVID impacted the way we basically did everything when it was during the pandemic. Is COVID still having an effect on the way you're doing the Christmas shoebox campaign? And tell us more about that.
I don't think that that's such a big issue right now because our restrictions have been lifted. I think, if anything, we have stopped packing shoeboxes because people thought it wasn't going and people were staying at home. Right now, there is no impact. We're encouraging people to grab some shoeboxes, fill them up, and bring them to their local drop-off center.
And how much time is there for viewers to fill a shoebox? And when is National Collection Week for this year?
National Collection Week is November 14 to 21. And so you have basically 2.5 weeks to try and to fill these shoeboxes. So you have some time.
Okay, great to hear. And then what kinds of things should we put in the shoebox?
School supplies are always great. So a pencil case with pencils and pens and crayons and an eraser and those kinds of things, a ruler, all of those things are really good. Hygiene items are also very good. A toothbrush, a bar of soap, a face cloth, those are good. And the crowning item is always a new toy. So a new toy of something, a puzzle, some marbles, a doll, something like that.
So you mentioned the toy as being the real centerpiece of the shoebox contents. Can you give us some idea of what kinds of gifts are really like the wow gifts that really light up the children's faces?
Stuffies. There's nothing better than to put a stuffy right at the top of the box. The other thing that I would strongly encourage people to do is to write a letter. I pack shoeboxes with my grandchildren, and I help them to write a letter. And we take a photo and we add that to the bottom of the picture or to the letter, and we put that into every shoebox so that they have a connection to someone who is blessing them.
And are there any items that we should not pack?
Yes, anything liquid. So don't put in a tube of toothpaste, no shampoos or lotions, those kinds of things. No candies. We think that candies would be a great thing, but if these boxes are kept in storage for a short time, it can draw ants and those kinds of things. And nothing used. Everything in the shoebox should be a new item.
Okay. And can you explain how it works to pack boxes online through www.packabox.ca?
It's beautiful. You just go on to that website that you just mentioned. You put in your information and they give you you can choose your budget to work with. You can choose what you want to do. So you don't even ever have to leave the house. You can just go onto that website, put in your personal information and choose the items from there, and they will pack the box for you at the Calgary Distribution Center.
Well, that's amazing for people that are just really, really busy and they just
Yes,
don't have a way to, they want to help out and they want to be a blessing this year. But I mean, time is of the essence.
exactly.
And I understand that we should also include a $10 donation to cover the costs to get the shoebox to the children. How would we make that donation? Is it cash, check, online? And what happens if we forget to do this? Will the shoebox still get there?
Absolutely. The shoe boxes are going to go whether or not the $10 is in there. And you can do any of those things, cash, check, or you can make your donation online. I know several people who are doing a number of shoe boxes. So if you're doing like 10 shoe boxes, you can do one donation online for $120 and then you're done. When the boxes go to the distribution center, all the boxes are opened and they look for those cash donations and those get put into a secured lockbox at the distribution center.
Now, I'm told that there's also a voluntary Bible study course called The Greatest Journey that's made available for the kids and families afterwards. Talk about that and what the response has been like.
That's where the big difference comes in is when these kids they're offered to take that course. They don't have to, but they're given, it's a 12 lesson course that talks about different stories in the Bible and scripture memorization. And the goal of them for that program is for them to become followers of Jesus Christ. At the end of that 12-week Bible lesson, their family is invited to come. Allowed to invite up to 9 people to come to a graduation ceremony. And at that great graduation ceremony, the parents and the family that has come also have the opportunity to learn about Jesus Christ. And that's where the numbers just get huge. Over 30.9 million children have enrolled in the Greatest Journey since 2009.
That's amazing. Wow.
Yes. Yeah.
Wow. Now, the sad reality is that there's more needy kids than there are shoe boxes. So how do you decide which children get a box?
We partner with these communities, the countries that I just mentioned. We partner with churches and community centers there. Churches are preferable. And then If a pastor in the Philippines was to say, I have a need, and they can tell us whether they need 100 boxes or 300 boxes, and we provide them with what they need for their community. So the local communities decide how many children are in need.
Wow. And for our viewers, time is running out. A reminder that National Collection Week for 2022 will end on Sunday, November 20th. People in Lethbridge can drop off boxes at Park Meadows Baptist Church or downtown at Fresh Life Church. Jacky, how do viewers in other areas find out where their specific drop-off location is?
You can go to samaritanspurse.ca/drop-off locations. You put in your postal code, and it will tell you where the nearest drop-off location is to you.
Well, that's amazing. We have a little bit of time left, Jacky. Is there anything else that you want to talk about? Anything that we haven't asked you yet? The floor is all yours.
Um, one of the greatest experiences in my life was to be able to go on a shoebox distribution in Costa Rica. It was fabulous to be able to meet those people. I think that the thing that stood out for me so much was that they were so happy. They have next to nothing, and they were so happy. They had a little dance that they love to do in Costa Rica, and they wanted to welcome us with this little dance. And these kids are like 6 to 12 years old, and they're doing like their local line dance. One of the kids was wearing this pair of huge size 11 men's rubber boots. And I just asked one of the interpreters, why is that? Why is he wearing those boots? Because it was his turn that day to wear the only pair of shoes that the entire family had.
Wow.
And yet, the joy on their faces and the freedom to be able to pray, the teachers led them in the Lord's Prayer at the school. And it was beautiful to just be in that kind of a community where they were so happy and they had so little. And the impact that that was going to make on those kids. We gave them soccer balls and we played soccer with them and we blew bubbles outside with them and did face painting. And we had such a great day. And it was all about sharing the love of Jesus with these kids.
That's amazing. Now you're talking about all this impact having on families in developing countries. Like, what kind of impact has this had on you?
It makes me so grateful for everything I have. And it just makes me want to pack more boxes every year because we want to reach more people. It's one way that we can so simply and for so little cost, we can fill a shoebox and impact someone's life for Jesus Christ for forever.
Well, that's all the time we have for today, Jacky. We really appreciate having you on the show today.
It's been my pleasure.
Jacky Kete is a media support team member with Samaritan's Purse.